What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here and welcome to Season 2 Episode 11 of Pompey Youth Stars. As you can see, we are near the end of April, so the May update is coming really soon. Also don't forget that the Scouting Goal contest is going on, and this month it is on strikers and centre forwards, so all the details for that will be at the end of the video, so stick around for that. So we have this game at the end of April against Birmingham. I will be simming it because they're not too close to us in the league. I want to head towards the May update as fast as I can, so let's just sim this one and see how we do. Hopefully we can get a good result. It is away from home, so it might be a little bit tricky, and we have quite a few tired players as well, but we win 2-1 away, which is a really good result. Bennett getting the winning goal from a penalty, so that's an excellent result against Birmingham and strengthens our case for automatic promotion. Okay, so now the second from last game of the season, we have Wolves, and I'll just show you the table before we get started. As you can see, there are 2 games left and we are in second place, and we are 6 points clear of Cardiff, so that basically, as long as we don't lose, we are guaranteed second place and guaranteed promotion. So it's a pretty important game, so I will be playing this one to try and avoid that loss, and like I said, as long as we avoid losing, we will go up, so it's really important. Let's see if we can get promoted. Wolves made the strongest start, breezing past my defender, nutmegging him there, and the shot eventually deflected over the crossbar. Very frustrating that they got through so easily that time. They had a free kick shortly after, a powerful header just wide with my keeper rooted to the spot, but it was Pompey who struck first. Abdelhamid doing some good work to get past the defender, playing in a nice through ball to Bong, who was just onside, and his pace took him clear and he smashed it into the far corner. Just doing the business as we know he always does. Strangely muted celebrations considering that goal could take us into the Premier League, but as usual, Bong getting the goal when it mattered the most, and that was putting us ahead. With 13 goals for the season, he has just done so well this year, as you guys know. But Wolves were not out of it there. They crossed it in, flicked it across the box and couldn't quite get on the end of it, but they were not going out without a fight. But just look at my defender here. I go to tackle, he gets thrown to the floor, and it's an advantage to Wolves. Apparently, according to the ref, my player found the Wolves player even though my guy was on the floor. Ridiculous, and it allowed them to come through, and only a good save from Doherty kept out the goal, which would have been extremely unjust. But they kept on going, crossed it into the box, and a powerful header just wide again. They really should have done better from that. Only 6 yards out, and they didn't even hit the target, but the pressure was on. They had 7 shots by half time. Only 2 of them on target though. I'd only had 1 and it went in, but they had 66% possession. They were completely all over me, absolutely dominant, and I was just clinging on for dear life. And that continued in the second half. They came out first, a lucky deflection and a last minute block with a hint of handball there. That was the only thing which kept out their shots there. We weren't completely out of it though. Wallace coming through with a good shot, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. Not enough to take us 2-0 up, but then an extremely frustrating couple of events. Their players just breezing past my defenders like they weren't there. There was no challenge at all there, and a very good header into the top corner. But these things just should not happen. These players are controlled by the AI, and Knight there just doing nothing at all, and Mathis in this case just standing around, moving towards the ball, backing away again. And when these players are controlled by the AI, there's nothing I can really do about it. I can't control every single player, but then they just have no desire to go and get the ball, and it just let Wolves through to equalise. Paulett with a free kick, too close to the goalkeeper though. It was a decent effort, but just not quite good enough. And then some last ditch defending here. Really good stop from Boviger right at the last second there to keep out the Wolves player. Really great defending from him there. But even deep into stoppage time, Wolves were not done, crossing it in, and a really good save from Doherty keeping out the header. That would have been disastrous if we lost that, because we only needed 1 point from our last 2 games to get promoted, and we managed it. So we are now promoted to the Premier League. All we needed was that 1 point, and we just clung on and got it. Wolves had 13 shots by the end of the game, but only 4 on target. We had 3, and all 3 were on target. 61% possession to Wolves. It was complete dominance from them. But Bong got man of the match with a 7.5 rating. Boviger with a 7 rating. So some good performances, and we got the result that we needed. Okay, I've just noticed this really odd story. It says promotion playoff spot for Portsmouth. It's saying that we are in the playoff places, and we're going to have to play some playoff games, even though if we go and look at the table, we can see that we're in second place with 1 game left and we're 4 points clear. So we can't be in the playoff places. So I'm just really hoping this doesn't mean we're going to have some stupid glitch or something in the game. Hopefully not. We are in second place. We should be automatically promoted. Hopefully it won't screw up. Okay, so it's the 1st of May and all our youth players have grown. So let's have a look at how they're doing. We have Danny Corey now up to 62 to 66 overall, looking really useful. Definitely going to hold on to him and probably promote him as well. Then we have Fernando Monzon 52 to 66 with 67 to 85 potential, looking pretty decent there I think. Keith Nichols 57 to 61, 72 to 78 potential. Then Levette Goncalves 56 to 60 with 71 to 75 potential. Marcel Crepeau 53 to 63 with 69 to 81 potential. Then Martin DeWitt 55 to 59 with 73 to 79 potential. Michael Coyne 61 to 65, 74 to 80 potential. He's looking really good, definitely going to keep him as well. Then Ryan Green 57 to 61, 76 to 82 potential. I'd be a complete fool not to keep this guy. 6'7" in the centre of midfield. Have to keep him obviously. And then Shuttleworth for Tannen 57 to 61, 71 to 75 potential. Keeping him just for the name. Hopefully we can make something good of him. So I will be promoting these guys a little bit later after the season has finished. We can go through them then and look at who we're going to promote and who we're going to release from the academy, but that's how they're doing at the moment on the 1st of May. And being the 1st of May, it's the 1st of the month, so let's have a look at how our squad are doing this time. So we have Doherty on 76, still only grown 1 point. He seems to have had a bit of a stalled season, which is a bit annoying really, given how fast he grew when I first promoted him and how highly rated he was. He's only grown 1 point this season. Pretty disappointing, but luckily he's still a fantastic player. Then David Brown, complete contrast, he's grown 5 points, he's my highest grower of the season. Fantastic stats. As always, as I keep highlighting with this guy, he has just grown so much. He's looking fantastic now. Liam Osborne 64 plus 2. And then we have Emerick Bovager 66 plus 4. One of my best centre backs now. Very solid in the air in that last game, keeping the opposition out. So he's doing very well indeed. Then Paddy Molloy up 4 points as well to 60. Then Brad Knight hasn't grown at all this season. Another player who seems to have stalled. Very disappointing because he had a decent time last season. So that's a bit sad to see. Then Joe Hayes 58 plus 1. Then we have Hiroki Tasaka, as we know, seems to have stalled growing as well. We have a few of these players only growing in mental stats. Hopefully that will change next season. Then we have Dylan Quinton 70 points plus 3. Then Mohamed Sobi 68 plus 3 as well. And then Frederick Mathis 62 plus 1. Again, only growing in mental stats, although it has been enough to push him up 1 point, but he isn't really growing very well at all. Then Darren Paul, in contrast, growing amazingly, now 77 plus 3 points. And Ajay Borsang has grown again up to 69 now, so he's had a decent impact since he joined us. Then we have Lodigan on 66 plus 4, and James Smith on 61 plus 1. Then Michael Pender 71 plus 3, and Abdel Hamid 66 plus 3 as well. Then we have a couple of real players before we get to Kelvin Bong on 72 plus 3 points. Let's just have a quick look at his stats. So he's got 14 goals for the season from 38 games with 5 assists as well. Very, very useful player. As we all know, he has just done so well this season. Then we have Jensen Bennett, the new signing, the new striker, 68 plus 1. And Dimitri Guarassi 66 plus 4. And then another real player before we get to Robson with 64 plus 4 points. And then we get to the players out on loan. So Hickford, he is going to be sold next season because he is just not growing at all. Really doesn't seem very good compared to Brown and Doherty. So he's going to have to go, I think. Then Curtis Simpson, our sort of test player, to promote a player before May to see how their physical stats would grow. As we can see, they're growing pretty well, and so are all his technical stats, but then again they had such a low base that it's not surprising that they're growing quite well. But anyway, he is on 53, up 4 points. Then Pimentel, another player who's going to be sold, just doing nothing at all there. Then finally, Mitsuharu Paula Daniel on 64 plus 3 points. So that is how our promoted players are looking this season. So it is the final game of the season. Let's see if we can get a win against Huddersfield. They can't get promoted, they've really got nothing to play for, and hopefully we can get a really good result against them to end the season on a high. We struck first and made the best possible start to the game. Bennett racing clear of 2 defenders who just could not stop him, drawing it back to Bong, who placed it calmly into the back of the net, and that was us 1-0 up after just 4 minutes. Fantastic start to the game, but as I watched the replay I realised something. The goalkeeper basically fell underneath the ball. A really soft goal for him to concede, but I wasn't complaining. But Huddersfield were not done. They were determined to get back into the game early on. A rasping shot there just over, another attack soon after, just stopped by Bovager at the last second, and they just kept on coming. They were determined to get that goal back early on. Some lax defending, let their striker through, who fired wide. He really should have done better from there. So I was a little worried by this point. Only 15 minutes gone and they were still in the game, but Bong released, and a bit of hesitation from the goalkeeper almost let him in. I really should have scored that, but I was confident that Bong could put it away and didn't need the finesse. Should have done better really, but still it was a very even half at this point. Ajay Boateng doing some great work to dodge the tackle and play in Bong, whose shot unfortunately was straight at the goalkeeper. Again, should have done better, but we came in at halftime 1-0 up and it was a very even first half. We'd had 5 shots, they'd only had 1, but they'd had plenty of attacks and they had more possession. So at this point I wasn't really sure how it was going to end. Huddersfield were really in the game, despite being a long way below us in the table. They were good, well worth the money. But in the second half, the first thing that happened was farcical. Look at that, almost a backflip there from their player. And I know people complain about diving in football, but that is just ridiculous. I just could not believe it when I saw that. I don't know if he slipped on a banana skin or was just desperate to get the free kick, but that was just absolutely ridiculous seeing that. But still, we came out with another attack, Lodigan racing down the wing, and Bennett winning the header with the goalkeeper scrambling. Couldn't quite keep it on target though, but he didn't have to wait long before he got another opportunity. Ajay Boateng doing really well, drawing in 4 defenders, which allowed Bennett to slip free and place the ball into the bottom corner to make it 2-0, and we were really in control of the game at this point, feeling pretty comfortable that we could go on and win the game. And the attacks just kept on coming. Lodigan doing so well to hold off the defenders, crossing the ball into the near post, and Bong, of all people, winning the header. He's only 5'7", but he wins his fair share of headers, and that was a great one there. Goalkeeper could only watch it go in. And we were now 3-0 up. Bong getting 15 goals for the season so far. Some superb performances from him. And we just kept on going. There was no mercy at all. Bong twisting and turning past the defender and clinically finishing it into the bottom corner. And I just love watching that goal. It was so decisive, so calm to just slot it past the goalkeeper there. And at 4-0, the game was all wrapped up. We were completely dominant. Bong with a hat-trick there. There was just no stopping him at all. He was on fire. And the defenders and the goalkeeper could do nothing to stop him. And we almost had a 5th. Bong almost turning provider for Ajay Boateng, who smacked his shot against the post. And there was just no let-up. I was going for more and more goals, as many as I could get. Great touch there from Bong to bring it down. And his pace took him past the defender. A good save from the keeper though. And that was all there was time for in the game. It was 4-0, but it could easily have been 5 or 6, thanks to that man there, Bong. He was absolutely superb, possibly his best game of the season, and we finished with 11 shots and 5 on target, completely dominating Huddersfield in that second half. It was a reversal of the last game, where we were dominated. This time it was all about Portsmouth, and we ended the season on a fantastic high, 4-0 win against Huddersfield. Bong with a 9.7 rating, possibly his best game of the season. Bennett 8.6, Ajay Boateng, who was superb, got 7.9, Lodigan 7.7, Butler 7.1, Sobby 7.3. So many good performances on the pitch there, and what a way to end the season with that absolutely fantastic 4-0 win. So after that game, straight away we have this scouting report from Murphin, and he has one player, Esteban Navarro, 67 to 93 potential. Looks pretty good, to be honest, although as usual I think I will wait 1 more month just to make sure, but he looks like a pretty decent player, so I'm not going to reject him. We haven't had anything from Uruguay so far, so he could be quite a good player, so we will watch him for 1 more month. So now that the season is over, it's time to promote or release some players. So we have Danny Corey. He looks really good. Look at some of these stats. 81 jumping, looks like he's pretty strong as well. Pretty good physical stats all round apart from his pace really, and some decent technical stats as well, especially his stand tackle. That looks really good, so we will definitely be promoting him. He could be a very useful player. 3 years, £500 standard amount, so we'll do that. We have Fernando Monzon. I'm not entirely convinced about this guy because he may not be that good yet. I don't want to do anything just yet because his potential and his overall hasn't been narrowed down very much, so we'll have to wait and see what he's like. so I'm not going to do anything with him just yet. Then we have Keaton Nichols, attacking midfielder, 57 to 61. Here are some of his stats. His sprint speed is pretty diabolical, to be honest. It looks really pretty bad, but his technical stats, some of them look okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to promote him, but I will probably end up loaning him out if he's not particularly good, or if he's no good, we can use him as part exchange in a transfer. So we will promote him, and standard one as well, £500 in weekly wages. Then we have Levette Goncalves. So he's 17 years old, 56 to 60 overall, and he's a right back, but he's physically strong, defensive minded, so he is extremely slow, and he's not particularly strong either. I've already got too many slow defenders, so I really don't think we need him, so I'm going to release him. Then up next we have Marcel Crepeau from Canada, central midfielder, 53 to 63, not particularly great overall, and not particularly amazing potential either. Again, looking very slow. He's got good mental stats and some decent looking technical stats, but with that poor pace, we've already got plenty of central midfielders who are pretty good, so I'm afraid I think I'm going to get rid of him as well. And obviously we can't promote Martin de Witt yet. Then we have Michael Coyne, looking at really good, really decent stuff in there. Physical stats aren't amazing, but some technical stats looking very good. Finishing, ball control, heading, all looking nice, and he's 6'4" as well. So he could offer something different up front to our normal strikers, so I'll go for him and promote him there. And then after that we have Ryan Green. Of course I'm going to promote this guy, 57 to 61. Look at those green stats in there. He's looking very promising indeed. So we will promote this guy, £500 as usual. And then finally, Shuttleworth Vatanen. Doesn't look fantastic, to be honest, but with that name I just really want to try and make a good go of it with him. So we're definitely going to promote him, give him a chance at least. If he didn't have that name, he would be out the door, I think. But we're going to give him an opportunity to prove his worth. So that is our promoted players. Let's see what they look like when they come out of the academy. Okay, so we just had the messages come through saying that our players have accepted their contracts. So let's go to the squad report now. And Ryan Green, 60 overall, showing great potential. Lovely little status there for him. Let's have a look at some of those stats. 81 stand tackle, wow. Sliding tackle, 73. Marking, 71. Passing's alright. Heading, 67, sorry. So he's an alright player, very good technical stats, and in terms of defensive stats, sorry, because he's 6'7", he might be quite useful in defense as well. Then we have Keaton Nichols, no potential status, but he is rated 60. Physical stats are looking pretty diabolical, to be honest. Probably going to end up probably loan him out for a little while, just because his physical stats are pretty useless. Then Vatanen, 60 overall as well at 16 years old. Not amazing physical stats. Technical stats, sorry, physical stats are of course pretty bad. So same again, I think I might loan him out, see how he does on loan. Then where are the rest of them? There we go. Danny Corrie, 64, showing great potential as well, another good status. Lovely physical stats in contrast to the last guys. 81 jumping, 78 strength, 78 stamina and 77 balance. He's not very quick, but those jumping and strength stats should help make up for that. Decent technical stats, 70 heading as well. He's 6'4", 6'2", sorry, so he should score some headers hopefully and get the ball clear with his head. Very useful to see. And then finally Michael Coyne, showing great potential as well. 63 rated striker. Good shot power, ball control, finishing and heading. That's really what you want to see. That's very good. Poor physical stats as usual with scouted players, but he is a physically strong striker, so hopefully he'll be quite good in the air. So that was a pretty good round really. 3 players showing great potential, and some really nice stats mixed in there as well. So that's how our promoted players did when they came into the first team squad. Okay, so just before I go, here's a look at the league table. We came in second place, 84 points, 10 behind Fulham, but 4 clear of Cardiff. So it doesn't look like we're going to have to do the playoffs. I don't know what that message was all about. So we're going to get automatic promotion to the Premier League. It's going to be really tough next year. So we're going to try and get some good players in on loan, perhaps, see if we can find some good free agents, perhaps. But we're going to have to do really well. Bong is going to have to be at his absolute best next year. So thank you so much for watching this season. Thanks for all your comments as well and all your suggestions. It's been a really great ride. We came in second in the end, so it was a really good performance, and like I said, we got promoted, so that's great news. So let's push on next season for the Premier League, see how we do there. Aside from that, we have the Scouting Goal contest. Like I said earlier in the video, this month it is on strikers and centre forwards, so if you found a good player that matches that description, in your scouting system, make sure you take a picture when they are in the youth academy or just after they've been promoted, so there's no stat growth, just to keep it fair for everybody else. Then you can send the picture to Twitter, to the account at FIFA Scouting using the hashtag ScoutingGod, or you can submit it on Facebook at facebook.com/FIFA Scouting Tips, or you can leave a link to the image in the description below, or leave it on FIFAScoutingTips.com. Loads of ways of doing it. That ends at the end of the month, so get your pictures in soon. Thank you again for all your comments and all your suggestions. Keep them coming. I'm going to listen to all of them and try and improve my videos as much as I possibly can. Leave a like as well if you enjoyed this video, and thanks very much for watching. Okay, I just spotted we've got a little notification coming up there. 3 hours left to go. Please, can this be... Oh, good, it is. Thank God. 3 hours left on the transfer deadline day.